Good morning, and we're going to talk about different types of writing that you do for school, so, or outside of school. What type of writing do you do outside of school? Do you remember some things that we've talked about before?
Texting.
Texting,
Also, notes.
writing a note to somebody,
Yeah.
okay? Anybody else besides Priscilla?
Typing.
Typing, okay, what would you type, Julieta? Were you talking about for school or outside of school?
Outside of school.
Okay, what kind of typing would you do? On your phone or on your computer?
Your computer.
Oh, okay, and who are you typing something to?
To the newspaper.
Oh, to the newspaper. You're gonna write to the newspaper?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Have you ever done that?
No.
No. Do you know anyone who has?
Miss Coffee.
Yeah. Okay, so I've talked about it before and you remembered, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes there are people who do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also we had, just like maybe you're leaving a note for mom and you write a note.
Yeah.
Now you have your phones, so what do you do?
Text.
Text. Mostly text, okay.
But sometimes they even know.
Yeah, and what did we talk about the kind of language that you use when you're texting? How is that different from the kind that your teachers ask you to use in school? That's something for us to know? Nope. So when I'm asking you to write a paper for my class, do I want you to use the kinds of words that you use in texting?
No.
Why? What's different about the texting?
Because you might use different words that you don't want to put on your paper.
Okay, that's true. You might
Yeah,
have,
maybe you're talking a conversation and then you use some words that you don't want to put on the paper.
okay. And what other kinds of words do we use in texting? Do we use full spellings or what?
No, we use abbreviation.
Abbreviations, right?
Yeah.
Right, good, okay. So we've got a couple different ways that we write. And when we write for school, do you know what kinds of writing we do in school? What does a teacher ask you to write for? A prompt.
Yeah.
A cold write. What's a cold write? Can you define it? Okay. It means that you have to write right then, like without any maybe prior, are you not reading a story first? You're just writing?
Like,
Okay. Okay, so cold means it's out of your head, right? Okay. When they ask you to write, there's usually purposes for writing. So the prompt is going to help you, and I had a prompt for you for this writing activity that we did, which was, not in front of me right this second. The prompt had to do with, there were 3 things in the prompt, but the prompt had to do with things that we had read, so it wasn't a cold write, right? And some documentaries that we had watched. So what do you call those, do you remember what we call those things that we read and watch?
history.
It could be historical. We call them sources. So sources are, it could be media or it could be written text. And sources are the things that we're using so that when we write our paper, which we're going to write an opinion piece, which is kind of like an argumentative. You're going to take the information that you read about and the information you gained from the documentary, and you're going to put it together so that you can tell what your opinion is about those, whether or not you thought that the people that we looked at were worthy of being on our money, right? Okay, so does anybody remember what one of the stories was about? Marian Anderson, okay. And that was in one of the articles, and then we watched a documentary. Does anybody else remember somebody's name that we? Harriet Tubman, thank you. And then we had a third person, and it was actually a group of people. The Cherokee. Okay, so we had 3 groups, and our prompt, if I could borrow yours, because I think yours is right here. prompt was, having read about Harriet Tubman and watching movies about Marian Anderson and the Trail of Tears, which was the movement of the Cherokee from their homeland, right? The Trail of Tears was the movement off their land when they got kicked off their land. Then it tells you to write a 3-paragraph essay. Now here's the things that the prompt also tells you. It tells you to describe what contributions these people made to our society, and that could be 1 paragraph. Details certain key political figures who helped or hindered their efforts, that could be another paragraph. And then explain whether or not you think, this is your opinion, they deserve to be historical heroes. What kind of tools do we use sometimes to help us think about our writing? Do you remember what those are called?
The story.
We use the sources, the stories, and the documentaries. But what do we do on paper if we're trying to get the story out? We might do a cold, just, what do you call it when it's, you're getting your ideas down? A flow map maybe, or some kind of graphic organizer, some kind of drawing with maybe circles and lines on it. So we have different kinds of maps. Can you think of one of the maps that we've used or that you've used in another class that has
A bubble map.
a bubble map?
Like a big one, the middle one and the big one.
Okay, and how about the one that is like for compare and contrast? Because we're gonna need to compare.
Oh yeah, you use a
Right.
circle right here, and then another one, and then another one circle right here.
Okay,
Okay,
so you have some
so-
blank paper in front of you, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the space on the writing prompt. You also could use this space if you can find yours. I'm gonna go ahead and use yours as the sample, Julia.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some information about Harriet Tubman,
You do it too.
and I'm just gonna put Harriet's name up there on that one level.
That's small hair.
Yeah, it is. You can make it bigger if you want. Can you read it, or is that too small for you?
Too small.
Okay, so I'll make it bigger for you. All right. So there's Harriet's bubble. Who else do we need a bubble for? The Cherokee, okay. So, Cherokee. And then maybe a big bubble